In ethics, we typically distinguish between personal ethics and social ethics, and they're both important, and you can't have one without the other. At the personal level, I think the first duty of every Christian is non-participation in things that are wrong. And that's unusual to start with that, and there are good logical and philosophical reasons why creation comes before fall. But I think phenomenologically, I think in our lives as we live them, it's important to begin with the admonition, if you see things that are wrong, be careful not to participate in that. Where we can, we should also actively resist them, but we have limited capacity to actively resist injustices when they involve other people's domain of stewardship, other people's responsibility. We can't run around and right every wrong because that would make us kings over our neighbors, which we're not. We don't have the power to take that away. But if Christians were really good at withdrawing their participation from things that are clearly wrong, that would be a powerful witness. That would be an extraordinary witness to the world around us. And I think it's because Christians have not made it an intentional practice to withdraw their participation from things that are wrong. I'm talking about things in your workplace when somebody on your shop floor is being singled out for ostracism for a reason that's wrong. Go over and talk to that person. Just by shaking that person's hand, you can be a witness against the injustice being practiced against that person. If something's being done that's dishonest, you can be a truth teller. You can refuse to participate in the false reality that your superiors are attempting to construct for their own purposes. And that may mean losing a job, or it may mean losing a promotion. I've had that myself, and I've had a lot of friends who've had the same situation. In the long run, you're going to be glad you did it. But faithfulness is its own reward anyway. I think second, diligence in excellent work. One of the primary ways in which we serve God and neighbor is just by doing a good job. And doing a good job can mean different things in different situations. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a master craftsman creating, a glorious work of art that will stand forever. There are, Chick-fil-A and things like that have shown that you can even make excellent fast food. Right? A fast food restaurant does not have to be a place where the food is lousy and unhealthy, and where the environment is unsanitary. And you can actually have a clean, welcoming. I mean, the hospitality practice is an extraordinary experience. You always have a great time when you're there, and that's fast food. That's like the bottom of the cultural chain. So this is not about snobism. This is not about make excellent products that the people at the top of the cultural chain will revere forever. This is about serving people, serving God by serving other people, which can be very prosaic and be very workaday. It's humble. But doing an excellent job at your work and working hard at it is an important part of our witness, because that's love. That's just Christian love for neighbor. I would say persevering through suffering is an important quality that Christians need to have, that we should expect that things don't always go well, and the ability to persevere in those times. I think frugality, self-control in our spending. I have really moved on this. There's a continuum between you don't want to be overly concerned about frugality and get to the point where, like John Calvin writes about monks who compete to see who can survive on less bread and water. There's a passage in the Institutes where Calvin talks about these monks who are competing. Like the monk who can live on half a loaf of bread is looking down on the monk who needs 3/4 of a loaf of bread to survive. We don't want this legalistic bottomless pit. At the same time, Christians should be frugal and self-controlled and not waste their money on frivolous luxuries. And that has a formative effect on who you are that goes way beyond just the squandering of the money. If you don't have the self-control to refrain from spending your money on things that are frivolous, that has a formative effect on who you are, and it will go way beyond just your pocketbook. So I'd say diligence, honesty, self-control, and concern for others' integrity.